Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a little get ready with me type video, as well as answering some of the questions that you guys asked me over on Instagram. I'm gonna warn you now, I'm not wearing any makeup in the beginning of this video, or I mean like, I guess in a second, in the beginning of the actual video, so prepare yourselves, consider yourself warned. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below, turn on post notifications so that you know when I post a new video, and yeah, enjoy the show. Enjoy the show, as if it's like fucking Netflix. Enjoy the video, bye! First of all, I'm just gonna clip my hair out of my way. It needs to be done. Don't look at my armpit. Don't do it, bitch! Don't do it. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna moisturize my face because we love to be nice and moisturized and, you know, not dry. Anyways, how have y'all been doing? Does anybody else feel like it's still like March or like April? It does not feel like mid-July, that's for sure. So before we get into the first question, I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer and just, you know, put it mostly right here because that's where my pores are, obviously. But then I'm also gonna put it just anywhere that I have some extra texture. So I asked you guys if you would be so kind as to ask me some questions over on Instagram. Listen, beach. If you're not following me on Instagram, go do that right now. The first question that I got, or the first question that I'm gonna be answering, I should say, is what are my thoughts on trans athletes? I know that this is, you know, so unflattering, so I'm rushing through it. Don't look at me. Oh my God, I look, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't care about sports whatsoever. Like I never have, probably never will. It's just not my thing. But that being said, I have heard of the debate that's going on right now about, you know, trans athletes and, you know, they can't compete against us real women because they have an advantage because they were born a strong, hulky man, blah, 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 blah. It's kind of just a silly conversation to me. I mean, obviously it's not silly, but there's just so much science and evidence behind hormone replacement therapy and like what happens to your body when you start hormone replacement therapy. There are a lot of differences between how testosterone affects the body and how estrogen affects the body. And the truth of the matter is testosterone does just make your body stronger. Like as somebody that was born with hella testosterone and now has quite a bit of estrogen in my body, I am much weaker now. As soon as I started hormones, my muscle mass deteriorated. I'm not saying I was like bodybuilding or anything trying to keep that muscle mass and it was deteriorating, but your body changes a lot. So if a trans woman wants to compete in the Olympics, say against other trans women, which has been happening for quite some time now, just, you know, put that out there. All they have to do is just do a simple hormone level check, make sure that their hormones are in line with the other women's, and then they're good to go. Like I just don't understand. I don't get it. I don't understand. There should also probably be like a period of time that you have to be on hormones, you know, so that they have the full effect on your body. But I've heard people make the argument that like, oh, well, you are born this way and your hands are bigger and you have more broad shoulders, so you're gonna beat me and it's not gonna be fair. I think the specific example that I'm thinking of was about a cycling competition and the person was listing off like, oh, well, your hand size is just bigger and you can't ever change your hand size. And I'm like, girl, what does that have to do with cycling? Like I don't see how that would give you an advantage. And also, girl, like look at these little hands. Big hands who? By the way, I'm using the new Dragon Beauty Lavender Color Corrector. This is not sponsored or anything. She just sent this to me. I thought I got kicked off the PR list, which apparently I did not. She didn't send the sage or the candle, which is kind of a good thing because like, I'm not like about all that kind of stuff, but I don't know. The purple's kind of cool. It does really cancel the orange pretty well, huh? For foundation, I'm gonna take a little bit of the Milani 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, Conceal and Perfect foundation. That's a bomb foundation. Really, really like that. And I'm also gonna take the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I really like the finish of the Maybelline one and it's a little bit lighter, so it's gonna lighten up the other foundation. I don't think that you have to set this color corrector, but I usually set my primer and stuff anyways, so I'm just gonna use a little bit of translucent powder over top. So the next question that I got asked was, do I have any dating advice for trans people? Well, I mean, I don't really know if this person's asking me for dating advice for trans people or for dating trans people. So I guess I'll just give you both. It's your lucky day. Unfortunately, I've never dated a trans person, so that's just gonna be my opinion. I don't really have any experience with that. I feel like it wouldn't be much different. I mean, obviously you have to deal with like, you know, the emotional toll that we have to go through with dysphoria and all that kind of stuff. So it might be, you know, a little bit more, you know, emotionally demanding maybe. I don't know. It's not fair to like generalize all trans people like that, obviously though. I just know for me, being trans like adds that extra element. As for dating as a trans person, I have some experience, okay? So don't look at my armpit. The thing is, I have learned some stuff, okay? Here's the secret. You tell them as soon as possible because listen, the thing is, here's the thing. I know that some of you are like, well, you don't have to tell them because like, you are who you are and like you're a woman. Of course, no, of course, I agree completely. You don't have to tell anybody. Definitely don't. You have no obligation to tell anybody anything, honey. That's just my opinion. But if you're looking for like a relationship that's gonna work out the best, in my opinion, the best way to get there is to just tell the truth from the beginning. Not to say that if you don't tell them, it's not telling the truth, but you guys know what I mean. It's better to be upfront about everything, like right from the beginning. I dated a guy and I didn't tell him right away, like nothing physical happened, whatever. But then he ended up finding out once he had feelings for me, and you know, he didn't even really care that much that I was trans. It's not like he was against trans people, blah, 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 but like he couldn't change that image that he had of me in his head. And it just like threw him off. I don't know. It was low-key transphobic, but like it's whatever. Whereas the only like successful relationship that I've had is with my current boyfriend, and he knew like before our first date. He knew like from the get-go, which I wasn't always a big fan of. For a long time I was like, no, I don't want you to know anything. I don't want it to like taint your I don't want it to alter your perception of me at all. Like I want you to just get to know me and then, you know, we can take it from there, blah, blah, blah. I feel honestly like it's a waste of time. Like men ain't, especially if you're dating men. Like, I don't know, it might be different if you're dating girls, but like men ain't shit, honey. Also, if you're a trans girl, I feel like you'll understand what I'm saying. If you have to be the girl that he like decides if he is okay with dating trans people with, that might be hard to understand, but like not because it's a difficult concept, just because I'm not explaining it well. If you are the first trans girl that he's dated and like he's like, I don't know if I can do it, like I don't know, blah, 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 like let's just like try, let's just like see what we're thinking, blah, 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 let's just feel it out. Bitch, no, run away, run away. It's not worth it, it's not fun. It's not gonna happen. Like it's just, I mean, it might happen, but in my experience, it's not gonna happen. And it's just a waste of time. Like it's just a waste of time. I might just be being biased because like I said, my boyfriend had like already met trans people before. So he had already gone through that like little like internal battle that people go through if they can like be with a trans person. He had already gone through that and I didn't have to really deal with it. He was already like, yeah, it's cool. That's not to say that if a boy isn't like fully aware of all the nuances, all the like this stuff, blah, 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 like he doesn't have to be the most, you know, educated on everything. You guys know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm saying. Okay, does this match? Does this match my, kinda, close enough? I feel like I've just been rambling. Hopefully I can edit this to make some sense, but. I also saw somebody ask, is it homophobic to not want to date a trans person? And I guess it kind of might be, depending on why you don't want to date the trans person. I've talked about it before, genital preference is fine. If you don't want to date someone with a penis and they have a penis, that's valid, that's fine, period. Like you do you, that's fine. The point where it gets problematic is where you don't want to date somebody just for being trans. It's kind of like them just saying that they don't see me as a girl, unless they like want to have biological kids and that's like the one reason that they're dating, which is fine, again, okay girl, whatever, but it's not really people's first agenda most of the time, but you know, people love to bring that up. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and blend this concealer out. The next question I got asked is if I have ever considered, let me just like blend this out real quick. I'm just gonna take some of this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer and just use it as like a liquid contour, a cream contour you could say. I'm just gonna go ahead and set it with some translucent powder and then we'll get on to the next question. Actually, let's just get onto it right now. I can do it while I do this, right? Oh my God, oh my God, wait, for real. So the next question was, have I ever considered living my life in stealth? For those of you that don't know, living in stealth is when a trans person doesn't disclose the fact that they're trans to like anybody. I mean, I guess it's different for everybody. I guess you could be out to some people and not out to other people. But basically it means that you know, live your life without telling people. To be honest, yeah, I mean, I definitely have thought about it. When I was in college, I basically lived as stealth, you could say. Like I mentioned it in a few of my classes when we were talking about like gender issues, blah, blah, blah. But I wasn't going around telling everybody that I was trans. I wasn't on like my social media or anything like that. I'm sure people clocked me, I'm sure people knew, but like I wasn't going around explicitly telling people. And it was definitely cool to like feel what it would be like if nobody knew that I was trans, if like I had just been born a girl. It was cool. But I just really like to be really open and honest about who I am. I think it comes down to the fact that like when I was growing up, there wasn't really that many people that were super open and super honest about being trans. The only time I ever saw any trans people was like on Jerry Springer, and it was always like a big joke to people. It was never something that I thought was like possible for like an everyday person. So I'm just really grateful that I can create media that shows the trans community in, you know, a realistic light. Obviously, I don't speak for all trans people. I'm not representative of all trans people, that's for sure. But this is just one example of who trans people are. If you couldn't tell, I'm just shaping my eyebrows right now. And to do that, I'm using the Brow Ultra Slim by Maybelline. Eyebrow pencils were always like my go-to, but I switched to pomade for a long time. But I don't know, this pencil is just like doing everything I needed to do. Look at that little line. And like, I don't have to like go back on my little pomade, like mixing up, you know what I mean? Like, it's just ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and take some of the Maybelline City Bronzer in shade 200. While I do this, the next question that I got asked was, would you ever date a transgender person? Oh my god. The answer to that is obviously yeah. I would have no issue dating another trans person. I can't really imagine another trans person saying they wouldn't date somebody that was trans. It's kind of silly to me. I'm like, what internalized transphobia? What do you mean? I look so dumb right now. Look how dumb I look. Oh, so dumb. Okay. So before I go in and do the eyeshadow, I'm just gonna clean up this contour a little bit. I'm feeling quite lazy right now, so I'm just gonna take some of the same bronzer and just put it through my crease, just to give myself some definition in the eyelid area. I was gonna say the eye socket. Well, I mean, I guess it is kind of the eye socket. I'm just trying to give myself some extra definition in this little eye crease, if you will. And then another little lazy girl hack, pick a little highlight shade. Boom. Eyeshadow. I'm really gonna be focusing on the eyeliner for this eye look, so I honestly do not care what this eyeshadow looks like. I just want like some sort of like something to occupy the space. I'm gonna go in and just blend over it again. Now that my eyes look like this, like the beatiest you've ever seen them, like a little effing bug, I'm gonna go ahead and do like a pretty big eyeliner because like I said, I'm a bug. I forgot to answer the next question. Okay, well the next question was, what's your favorite part of your makeup routine? And it's my eyeliner, and next we're gonna do eyeliner. See, it was supposed to be like a whole thing, like I ruined it. Okay, so obviously I finished my eyeliner, I put on some lashes, we're good to go. We're gonna skip ahead to lips next. So for lips today, I'm going to use the Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink. This bad boy in shade 70. Amazonian. Before I do that, the next question that I have on my list is, what do you do when somebody outs you as transgender? I'm not really sure. Like, I've definitely been outed in the past, and it's a very, very uncomfortable, awkward situation. A lot of times it can be really scary too, especially if you don't know the person that you just got outed to. Fortunately, I've never been in a situation that turned violent when somebody found out that I was transgender. Thank you, God. But it has definitely been some very like, bitch, I'm gonna punch you in the face after this. Like, did you really just do that? Most of the time, it's always in good intention. They're like, oh my God, look how pretty my friend is. She used to be a boy, blah, 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 blah. Like just drunk or something, and they're just like, say it. I mean, obviously it's problematic. You don't wanna do that for the reasons that I just said. It's dangerous, it's not cool, all that kind of stuff. But to answer the question, I don't know. I guess like do the same thing that I would do with this lipstick and just not say anything. Just kind of sit there like, I mean, I guess it's different if you get misgendered, because then you can just like play it off like it was an accident, like nothing happened. People do that all the time. They're like, oh, she, like blah, 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 and people just don't react. But if they're like, oh yeah, my friend used to be a boy. I mean, you can't really just pretend that didn't happen, but I mean, I guess you could. It's always an option, I guess. Oh my God, why is it like dark right here? That's so fucking rude. Anyways, I'm gonna put this on, so yeah. All right, we are finally on to the last steps. I can finally dust off this extra powder. Hopefully start to look a little bit more, you know, blended. All right, you guys, we are on to the very last question for this video. And we are also on to the last couple steps of the makeup routine. As I answer this, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on a bunch of random blushes. This is like my little blush palette. I think this is like one of the first ever makeup products that I got. So it's like old, it's definitely expired, but I still use it. Still works, I haven't died, so it's fine. It's from Makeup Revolution, and the blushes are lit. The question that you guys have probably been waiting for if you saw it in the thumbnail is, what is my OnlyFans account? When am I gonna open my OnlyFans account? Blah, 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 all that kind of stuff about OnlyFans. And the answer to that question is, it's coming very soon. Just kidding. At least at the current moment, I'm not thinking about making an OnlyFans. I mean, things could change. I don't know. I could become super confident with my body one day and like, just want everybody to see it. But as for the current moment, I'm just not in a place where I want to do that. If you have an OnlyFans, I'm sure you're making hella money, girl or boy, good for you, like get your bag. But it is just not something that I'm interested in doing at the moment. I almost forgot to do my freckles. Oh my God, it's like the most important part is the freckles, girl, oh my God. So I'm gonna take the Maybelline City Bronzer again. This time I'm gonna use shade 300. It's a little bit darker than the one I was using earlier. And I'm just gonna use a little eyeliner brush like this, get it wet, dip it into that bronzer and then just like go crazy, like where I want freckles. This is not done carefully at all. I literally like just fucking, I'm literally doing what I do. Like I just go like this. Sometimes they look like that. They're like all stretched out and like they just look like a line and I'm like, oh, that's fine. Like, oh well. I don't know. There's something about just like having my whole face like perfect. I mean, you know, as perfect as I can get it. And then having like super messy freckles everywhere. I don't know. I like the look. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do a little bit of this Maybelline glass spray like right here. I already did it. I'm not gonna do it again because this stuff, like, she's good. She will make you shiny. I'm just gonna take a little fan and just fan this in, you know? Stop looking at my armpit, bitch. I see you. All right, you guys, that is it for this week's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that I answered one of the questions that you submitted. Or if you didn't submit a question, it's your own fault. I don't know what to say. If you guys are not following me on Instagram, make sure you go and do that so you don't miss out the next time that I ask you guys to ask me questions. Maybe I'll answer your question. Who knows? I don't know, maybe. Who knows? Other than that, I think I'm going to go. If you guys like this video, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you are not already and you would like to be. Leave a comment down below. I read them all. So, you know, just come say hi, whatever. And I will see you guys for next week's video. Bye, guys.